Alright guys, today's day 10 of the 50-day burpee challenge. I'm at 40 so far, I have 10 more left. Before I knock out these 10, I just want to discuss something. So when I first started this burpee challenge, I wasn't sure how I was going to do. I didn't know if I was going to stick with it. I didn't know if I was going to get the form right or what the case was. Funny thing is, the first video I posted, my former powerlifting coach actually told me, like, what the hell are you doing? Those aren't burpees. And he told me how to properly do it. And then I deleted the video, worked on the form, and then, proceeded to do it right. So my point with all this is put the reps in, learn the proper way to do it. YouTube is a huge resource, but also if you have other friends that are into calisthenics, stuff like that, learn the proper form and then go about it, right? You don't want to do the wrong form. But with burpees, there are a lot of different variations. So, there's a lot of stuff on YouTube you can find. So I do it with the jump. A lot of people do it without the jump, but that's neither here nor there. It doesn't really matter. It's just up to the person based on your injuries, your athletic history, all that stuff. So one example I want to give is I had been lifting for 8 years before I went to this powerlifting gym, Iron Arena, which I love. One of my favorite gyms I've ever been, privileged to be a part of. But I got a coach. He completely changed the way I deadlift, the way I squat, and the way I bench. At first, I was hesitant, because I had been doing something for a certain way for a certain amount of time, and it worked for me, right? Or so I thought. Then I plateaued and I stalled until I worked with him, and then he showed me how to do it in a more efficient manner and a better manner. And then over time, I improved. I was able to deadlift 500 pounds, squat 400 plus pounds, bench 315, all these things that I thought were pipe dreams or things that I would never be able to do as a, Indian, vegetarian, natural lifter. I thought these were all just pipe dreams, because, as an Indian guy, you're just told like, oh, you're weak or, you don't get protein, how can you do that? So, okay, I went off on a tangent, but the whole point of this whole diatribe is get a coach, listen to your friends, watch YouTube, learn the proper form, don't overthink it, and then just knock out reps. At first it's gonna be weird, it's gonna be awkward. You're not gonna know if you're doing it right. You might feel like, a fraud of sorts, but once you do more reps and over time, it becomes easier. Then you're like, holy shit, this is not like rocket science, I could do this. All right, so without further ado, let's knock out 10 reps. Also, if you want proof of concept, watch my first few videos, the speed at which I did the burpees, and the rhythm. You'll notice, let me catch my breath. You notice in the later videos, I have more rhythm, I'm much more confident, I knock it out much faster. So that's just proof of concept. But yeah guys, day 10. Hope to have many more, knock on wood. That's all I have for you guys. See you on the flip side.